Good morning, White Sox fans. This is your Sox Machine White Sox wake-up call for Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. I'm Josh Nelson. All right, do you want to hear about the White Sox game from last night or the new front office hires? Okay, let's quickly touch on what happened on the field last night. Luis Robert Jr. hit his 37th home run of the season and hit his 36th double last night, so the 40-40 quest is still alive. Yoan Moncada hit his 9th home run of the season and drove in Robert with an RBI single in the 9th inning, but the Chicago White Sox still lost 4-3 because nobody else helped much offensively. In the 7th inning, the duo of Aaron Bummer and Brian Shaw made a mess of things when the latter gave up a 3-run homer that was the difference maker. Luis Robert went 3 for 4 in the game. Yoan Moncada was 2 for 4. Tim Anderson got on base twice, a single and a walk. Gavin Sheets was 1 for 2, was later pulled for Trace Thompson. And Corey Lee hit his first double of the season as he went 1 for 3. He's hitting a whopping .082 in 2023. Jose Urena did pitch well. He went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, didn't walk anyone, and struck out 4 on 70 pitches, but was pulled for Bummer, and yeah, that didn't go well. The White Sox are now 58-94. They have 10 games left in the season. They have to finish at least 5-5, which is a 500 record, to avoid 100 losses. Okay, back to the front office news. It was dropped during the game last night when MLB.com Scott Merkin first posted the news on Twitter that the White Sox were hiring Arizona Diamondbacks farm director Josh Barfield as Chris Getz' new assistant GM. That's an interesting choice, as in recent Sox Machine podcast episodes, we've touched on the D-backs as an example of a team that covets speed and athleticism, things we have heard both Chris Getz and Pedro Grifol harp on. Barfield has helped develop that approach within the D-backs farm system. Now, the plan does require drafting and signing international talent that fit that mold, but Barfield could bring the much-needed outside thinking for the White Sox farm system. You know, the one Chris Getz used to run. Then Bob Nightingale of USA Today released the other 2 front office hires. Brian Bannister, former director of pitching for the Boston Red Sox and the San Francisco Giants, a role he's had the last 4 seasons. He's also the son of former White Sox pitcher Floyd Bannister. If you remember the book MVP Machine, Bannister is featured in the chapter called The Conduit. In it is the story of how Bannister assisted Rich Hill to change his pitching approach, relying more on his curveball as his fastball sat mostly in the low 90s. That change has allowed Hill to continue pitching in the majors. There's this quote from Bannister from the book. Quote, "It was always fascinated me, the right physical approach, the right pitch mix, the development of a new pitch, and you can completely change a pitcher's projection or his future ceiling," end quote. With Bannister joining the White Sox, he'll be helping Chris Getz and we assume current pitching coach Ethan Katz to get more out of the White Sox pitchers. It'll be interesting to see if Bannister can help Dylan Cease and Michael Kopech with some necessary adjustments to get both of them on track. Gene Watson was the third and final hire, former vice president of Major League Scouting for the Kansas City Royals. It's that team again. Will be joining Getz' staff handling pro scouting for the White Sox, because if there is one thing that Kansas City has been good at, it's pro scouting. I kid. We'll give Watson a chance, but the leash is very short based on his experiences in Kansas City. Again, it's been a long time since the Royals were good in the majors. One thing to keep in mind of, again, we keep kidding, but maybe this does become a reality. Watson would have intimate knowledge of how the current Kansas City Royals think of their team, of their farm system, maybe what they think of other teams' farm systems. If the White Sox are actually interested in possibly acquiring Salvador Perez, Watson can be leaned on for that knowledge.
There's no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform that you need to build yours. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy because Indeed does the hard work for you. They show you the candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your description immediately after you post so you can hire faster. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports, and support the show by saying that you heard it on this podcast. Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Quick turnaround for the White Sox today as first pitch is at 12:05 p.m. Central Time. Michael Kopech will be today's opener for Jesse Schultens. Since Kopech has moved to the bullpen, the results have been awful. Just in the month of September, Kopech has a 16.62 ERA in 4 appearances with 7 walks and 6 strikeouts. He's allowed 8 earned runs in those appearances, and whenever you have allowed more runs than strikeouts, that's a problem for all pitchers. Schultens hasn't been much better. In 3 starts this month, Schultens has pitched only 12 2/3 innings with 10 strikeouts and 6 walks, but allowed 14 runs, 13 of them earned. That's a month ERA of 9.24. If Kopech and Schultens keep this pace up, might be a good day for the Nationals offense. Starting for the Nationals is Josiah Gray, who is the Nationals All-Star representative this year. Gray has a 4.07 ERA with a 2.6 WAR according to Baseball Reference. You can watch the game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen on the radio at ESPN 1000 AM. Down on the farm, only the Charlotte Knights are in action. They won big over the Memphis Redbirds 13-3. Christian Mena went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 300 runs, walked none, and struck out 4 in 82 pitches. Victor Reyes hit his 19th home run of the season. Yoelqui Cespedes went 2 for 5, and Eric Gonzalez was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Around Major League Baseball, Ronald Acuna Jr. is having an amazing season. He had 2 more home runs last night, giving him 39 for the season, and added another stolen base to give him 67. Acuna has a chance to hit 40 home runs and steal 70 bases this year. Oh, and Acuna now has 100 RBIs on the season as the Atlanta Braves won big over Philadelphia 9-3. Jake Berger was the hero again for Miami as he hit the walk-off single as the Marlins beat the New York Mets 4-3. The Minnesota Twins shut out the Cincinnati Reds 7-0. The Twins have 80 wins while Cleveland lost to Kansas City again 7-6. The Guardians are 72-80, so 3 more wins for Minnesota, and the American League Central officially is theirs. Toronto gets a much-needed win, beating the Yankees 7-1, and the Texas Rangers beat the Boston Red Sox 6-4. And then the big series I've been paying close attention to has been the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros. I've got a feeling this could be a preview of the American League Championship Series. And if it were to happen, you have to be confident in the Orioles because, again, on the road, they beat the Houston Astros 9-5, and they win the series on the road against the Astros. Very impressive from this young Baltimore Orioles squad. That will do it for this White Sox wake-up call. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Sox Machine. You can follow me on Twitter at @SoxMachine_Josh. Subscribe to the Sox Machine podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, such as Spotify and Apple Music. We also upload podcast episodes into our YouTube channel, which please subscribe to at youtube.com/SoxMachine. If you enjoy our work and want more, subscribe to our Patreon to receive exclusive content, ad-free versions of the website, and podcasts. Monthly plans start at $2, or you can save with an annual subscription. Again, sign up at patreon.com/SoxMachine. The White Sox Wake Up Call is a production of SoxMachine.com. You're all for all things Chicago White Sox baseball and part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm Josh Nelson. Thanks for listening.